Hey, good evening, guys. It is time to get started with Bollocks this evening. I'm sitting here with Lenny Remo, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend. And we have in there pushing all the buttons, Blake Blevins, rocking it out right there. And he had to get his FaceTime in. There you go. Scared the children. All right.
Oh, please.
But before we get started, I got to tell you, we are in the
Bozard Ford Studio.
And I got to tell you about the great people at Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine. Their goal is to make sure your time and experience buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been the recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford also has won back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out today online at bozardford.com.
You know, when it's cold out, there's nothing better than a steaming cup of coffee or a really nice breakfast, especially if you don't have to make it yourself. Well, in St. Augustine, you're lucky there's two choices. There's the Anastasia Diner and the Moultrie Creek Diner. Hubcap-sized pancakes, burgers and fries, some really clever and creative omelets. They're great for everybody. It's a neighborhood favorite. The staff is fabulous. You're going to make new friends. You're going to enjoy your day. You'll make memories and share stories and enjoy the art that's on the wall. When you go to either of these places, you will enjoy your meal. And when you get there, just tell them Andy sent you. Anastasia Diner and Moultrie Creek Diner.
All right. I got to tell you about the incredible people at A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing for over 20 years. A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing has been St. Augustine's trusted name in roofing. From cedar shake and tile to flat roofs and designer shingles, they've got you covered, literally. Specializing in painted metal roofs for saltwater area homes with warranties up to 25 years and cedar shake shingles warranties up to 50 years. A to Z puts customer satisfaction first. Free estimates, top-tier materials, and service you can count on. Visit A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing.com. A to Z Roofing, protecting homes from the top down. All right. And we have other sponsors we got to tell you about that are equally as amazing. We have Brightway Insurance, St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum, Saint, Anastasia Construction Group, Synergy Power Solutions, Abear Kresge and Associates, Powell, Heating and Air, Meehan's Irish Pub, A.D. Davis Construction, and St. Augustine Distillery and Citygate Spirits. Appreciate
Nice
each
group.
and every one of those guys.
Nice
So,
group.
very good group. Let me find my paper clip. You can erase my circle now,
I will do that.
and then I'll give that back to you because you have a secret hiding place. I don't know where they're at.
I do. It's called job security on my part.
Yeah, I have no idea where they're at. So the topic I wanted to talk about just disappeared off my page. So we're going to see. There you go. I brought it back.
Well, before we delve into your topic, I'll put those away.
Oh, no. We're going to choose the topics, but I just wanted to see
Okay.
if I could get it back.
How'd you make out over the frozen tundra of Francis Field?
It was, we were prepared.
Okay.
I was bundled up.
Okay.
So I had the water drippy. So a lot of people don't realize that trick.
Oh,
If
no.
you keep moving water, it keeps it from freezing.
Correct.
So, but there's a lot of busy plumbers today.
I would think so. Fortunately, we didn't have to get one because I was able to rectify our issue.
Okay, what was your issue?
Well, I'm still marveling at the fact that hot water heaters are hung on the outside of houses down here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such a foreign concept. Even if it's a wall hung, we've got a gas-fired water heater and it's on the outside of the house, which in the real world in normal weather wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, normally it's not.
We woke up, where are we in the world today? I guess Saturday morning, and Julie says, we have no hot water. I said, excuse me?
Mm.
We had no hot water. So I turned on the tap and we had no water.
Mm.
So I went outside and looked around. There were no, fortunately, pipes broken or anything of that nature, but there must have been a freeze in one of the PVC connections feeding to or from the hot water heater.
Ah.
So
No water was actually getting to.
Correct, or coming out of it, right. It was
Yeah.
It was plugged somewhere. So I went to my tool kit and I took out my handy dandy heat gun. You ever used a heat gun? They get very hot.
Yeah, I've used the heat gun, but I've never used it on PVC.
Well, It worked just fine. It's like
Okay.
hair dryer on steroids.
All right.
Oh yeah, it's for painting and taking wallpaper off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've never used it on PVC.
Yeah.
I don't know if it weakens the PVC or not.
We'll find out. But
that's what I'd be nervous about.
Well, it didn't melt it, but what it did do is enough to melt it where we could get water flowing and get our hot water back. So it was a easily rectifiable issue once we identified the problem.
All right, and I got to correct a situation this morning.
Okay.
Blake, you checked the comments, but during your long comment report, you never said happy birthday to Barbara Jean.
I did.
Did you?
Barbara Jean,
Yes,
happiest
I
of
did.
birthdays
Okay.
to
You
you.
must have rushed past it because I didn't hear it.
Wow.
Barbara Jean, if you heard it, I apologize because I did not hear it, but I wanted to make sure you get your birthday wishes today too.
Absolutely. By the way, this is like, old homework for you. This is like a February in Minnesota, I would think.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Well,
yeah,
she's also not in Minnesota anymore. Good job, Barbara Jean.
Barbara Jean, send that weather back to Minnesota if you would. Minnesota.
Very happy birthday to you.
So, all right. So it's Monday. You survived the
hold on.
weekend. You had it. What?
Hold on. Instant replay. Listen here.
I'm not listening to that, Blake.
man,
We're
we got
not
a show
boring.
to do.
We're doing a show.
I did say
You're
it,
killing
but-
the vibe.
Barbara Jean knows we
You're
love
killing
her.
the vibe. I wish I had a kill button on him right now.
Be careful, because he doesn't have one on us.
He
so.
does have one on us.
Oh, damn it.
But guess who pays the bill?
There you go. Good
Yeah,
point. Good point.
exactly. Luckily for me, I still have that power, even though the checkbook's in his room.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but you don't have signing power yet. Keep it up, you won't. All right. So what are our topics today?
Topics are Brrrr, claw machine, and 5 questions.
Brrrrr, claw machine, and 5 questions.
I think
All
we
right.
kind of covered the burr, unless that's you. Brrrr.
Well, I actually wanted to see which animals were the most affected by cold. So I clicked on that one really quick. And here we go, the quick rundown. Manatees, which we pretty much know, they're warm-blooded, and they all swarm to the springs here in Florida. Lake, if you can pull up the Blue Springs live cam, I'd love to see what that looks like, because I bet it's packed with manatees right now.
I would think so. There
All
was
right.
over 500 of them.
Green iguanas, which we make jokes about.
So my question is,
Mm-hmm.
when an iguana freezes and falls out of a tree, if it lands on its head, does it get brain damage?
It's hard to tell. They're not that smart anyway.
Okay.
So, sea turtles. I didn't realize this. If it drops below 50 Fahrenheit, can cause cold stunning, making them weak, listless, and unable to swim. I didn't know that was a thing.
All right, got the light cam.
All right, here you go. Look right now. Look at those manatees. That's the live cam in Blue Springs.
Not as many as I would
Yes.
have expected.
So
There's a place called Triple Springs around here. Is that correct?
I don't know what that is.
It had 500 manatees packed in there.
Well, the Crystal River and Blue Springs are the ones that are the big manatee spots.
Okay.
So, with fish, intense cold causes fish kills, affecting species like snook, tarpon, and manatee grazed areas. Other reptiles like crocodiles. We showed a picture of the crocodile with his nose out of the ice. Snakes, tortoises are sensitive, and birds and small animals also can freeze up. So
I would think.
the one that was affected the most was a Virginia possum. I didn't know they had possums in Virginia, but it was the Virginia possum was the leader of the most affected animals.
Okay.
So I mean, and if a possum is froze to death, wouldn't you think he's just playing possum?
Tough to tell, you know. It
Oh.
goes either way. But I saw a picture of whether it was that Triple Spring or wherever it was, that they had 500 manatees packed in there. And it reminded me of the James Bond movie, I guess it was Live and Let Die, where Roger Moore needed to get to one side of from one side of the pond to the other, and he trotted across the heads of the alligators. You could have definitely walked across. I mean, the manatees were packed in so close, you could have literally walked right across the manatees and not gotten wet.
Yeah. And Blake flashed up a picture of the Virginia possum there. Have you ever eaten possum?
No.
I don't think Blake has either.
Nor Brunswick stew, nor squirrel.
Yeah. Well, Brunswick stew was originally with squirrel.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying. No, I have
now,
not.
now most people make it with a beef product, I think.
Okay.
So it's like,
It's a cop-out.
yeah. Squirrel's the original Brunswick stew. So you've never eaten squirrel?
No.
Okay. All right.
And I'm okay with that.
All right. What do you think the strangest thing you've eaten is?
Sweetbreads. Let's see, what else? Sea urchin.
Okay.
Quail, stuffed with foie gras, wrapped in a cabbage leaf, was one of the best meals I've ever had in my life.
Yeah. I like quail.
Yeah.
I like quail eggs. So,
Actually, it
Blake, what was the name of the worm we
was
ate?
quail or if it was pigeon, actually.
What was the name of the worm we ate in Africa?
I wish I
The
could
same
tell-
place, same at the Boma, the same place we had the warthog.
I remember eating the worm, but unfortunately, I don't remember off the top. Of
They
my
gave
head.
us a certificate for eating that stupid worm, whatever it was.
I think we
Alright.
threw it away.
It begs the question, boys, and I'm going to ask your father because I know your answer from you is going to be no. Was it in the bottom of a bottle of tequila?
No, it was not.
Well,
It was not. No,
that's
it was.
disappointing.
It was a different. It was a very specific worm to that region, and if you ate it, you got a certificate for it. And I think, I think all of us ate it. So
What was the rationale for earning the certificate? Was it like deadly or
I can't.
deathly?
I
or
can't
was
remember
just
what it
gross?
was. I can't remember what it was, but it was some unique
What,
worm.
what was the name of the restaurant we went to? Was it the Boma?
It was a Boma, and it was in
Mopane worm.
Mopim. Oh, there's my jacket.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, if you can pull up a picture of that, that'd be cool.
Got it.
So, yeah, but it was in like the reserve, Livingston, Stanley and Livingston's
Dr. Livingston, I
reserve.
presume?
Yeah, their reserve there, and it was just outside of that, near Victoria Falls, is where that Boma was at. So, and that was the name of the restaurant. Was called Boma.
Okay.
So, in warthog,
Challenging.
you would expect to taste like pork, but it doesn't. It tastes like steak.
Okay.
All right, got a photo. Give me 1 sec. Photo's up.
There you go. That's what we had. That's probably the oddest thing we've
It looks a little
we've
dirty
eaten.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, it's the worm. Okay,
You only
so
had to
it
eat
does
one.
look dirty.
yeah. Those are worms. So
Well, with my eyes, it just looked like a pile of crap.
yeah, it
Sorry.
looks like cat poo. So all right, you had claw machine.
I do.
All right, I still have 50 largest companies by state. We can hold that one off. That was not in the title,
Okay.
and then we'll have 5 questions.
Okay.
So claw machine is what's up next.
All righty.
Yes.
Well, you know a claw machine. You go into an arcade, you go into a store, you go someplace and sitting in a corner is a pardon me, a big bin filled with plush toys. Used to be little Walkmans or MP3 players, gift cards. I mean, you can put pretty much anything you want in these things nowadays. Some places put iPads and things in, and you gotta, bring your little erector set crane down and drop it and grasp on and lift it up and make it to the drop bin and release it, and you get your prize. You would think they were reputable.
Well, Blake thinks they're reputable.
Blake, cover your ears. I'm gonna burst your bubble if you're listening. There.
No, I am a non claw machine person, and I have always been a claw machine doubter.
Okay.
Okay, so
Well, there's a legitimacy to him to some point. Now, first of all, it's big doings nowadays. There's a guy who has a YouTube site with over 2 million subscribers to it called Arcade Hustle, I believe it is. Arcade Warrior, I'm sorry, and he's got over 2 million subscribers to that. This is a guy who's been playing the claw machine for years, to the point that a couple of these people have said, "I'm gonna get on the other side of this," and they bought 30 or 40 of these claw machines, and they just put them around, and they're making money on them.
yeah,
But what I found interesting is that the machines, now probably done electronically, but there used to be a switch or a dial on the inside of it that you could set the tension on the strength of the claw,
okay,
so that if you got something too heavy, it wasn't going to hold on to it too well. So you had to be really deft at it to be able to get it into the bin.
okay,
So they can fix the strength of that. Now, there's a different way to handle this now, because if you have expensive prizes in there, something that's, you've got a licensing fee, like if you put in a Minion or a SpongeBob SquarePants plushie or something like that. If you're doing it legally, you've got to pay the licensing fee to the people that are selling you the plushies. But now there is a payoff threshold in that as well. So it's not going to let you win a prize until the machine has collected enough money to equal the value of the prize itself.
Okay.
So if you got a $20 prize in there, if the machine hasn't raked in $20, you're not winning.
Gotcha.
If it's got $21 in it, you might be able to win something that's worth $20 because now it has reached its break-even point.
Okay.
So I thought that was kind of interesting that, you would think.
It's kind of shady.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of shady. It's not random in any way, shape,
No,
or form.
that's the whole
more
point
about,
of this.
More
yeah.
about the timing of it.
Yep.
So it has zero random to it. So, Blake, when you play the claw machine in Vegas, understand that those rules will apply. So, all right.
One guy bought for $500 when he was younger. He bought a claw machine for $500, stored it in his mother's basement, and practiced on it daily. These guys are a little addicted to this sort of stuff. Yeah. He now has 1.83 million YouTube subscribers.
Just doing claw machines.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, just on claw machines. So you basically sort of want to wait for a couple of little kids to go in there and not win anything, and then swoop right in when they put enough money in the machine to lubricate it enough so that you can win something.
Just push them out of the way.
Yeah,
Give them a little
small.
stiff arm.
It depends on how big the dad or the mom are.
Yeah, good point.
They get protective. But I thought that was very interesting that, you thought that they were legit, but no. And they also have claw machine tournaments. They line up a bunch of them and you go, and so I don't know who sets the...
Those have to be legit then.
Well, I was going to say...
Those have to be fairly regulated.
Right. Who sets the tension, the claw tension on those? And if it's a tournament, obviously there's not a payoff threshold necessarily. But I didn't realize that, because, all right, you get it. And then you lift it up and you're doing so good.
And you almost
and it keeps
get
dropping.
Yeah, but it has to do with the tension and the weight.
Yep. So, every now and again I'll play one of those just to see if I have any dexterity, but I don't.
No, I've always felt like they were a ripoff, and I think it was mostly because I've never had any success with them.
Well, that's it.
So, all right, one of the other items I have is modern treasure hunters. I kind of got hooked on watching some of these guys on reels with the magnet fishing. Have you seen those?
Sure.
Where they throw it off the bridge and they're finding like different like weapons and like bicycles and part of motorcycles and
hubcaps.
They're finding all this stuff. So I kind of got going on that, and then I drifted over into treasure hunters. And there are real live treasure hunters out there.
Oh yeah.
That this is what they do. There's a guy by the name of Trent Brisbane. He's with Queens Jewels LLC. He focuses on 1750 Spanish plate fleet, the Spanish plate fleet off of Florida's coast, recovering significant gold and silver. All right. But there's more. There's a guy named Eric Schmidt. This is what he does. He's found over $1 million in gold coins and chains off of Florida. A lot of these things are off of Florida.
Right. Where the treasure fleets went down.
Daryl Miklas, he utilized NASA astronaut data to locate Caribbean shipwrecks.
Makes sense.
Okay. Nicoline Bohr and Karen Russell specialize in beach combing and detecting colonial era items in Nantucket. I mean, how much can they get in just one place? Like these other guys seem like they're traveling around.
No, I mean, just think of the people with the metal detectors that are just walking up and down the beach in Florida. You get a new crop of tourists every couple of days. Mm-hmm. They drop their wedding ring, they drop their cash, they drop their coins, they drop their necklaces. There's a lucrative industry in that.
All right, so the underwater salvage, which was what the first couple guys were, they use a side scan sonar, specialize in dive gear to locate wrecks. But the people you're talking about, the most common modern day treasure hunter is the metal detecting people.
Sure, on the beaches.
And I loved, my grandmother had a metal detector, and I loved playing with it and, going out and, somebody lost a ring at one of the ballparks, and I was able to find it with it. And I thought I was the coolest guy.
I think you were.
It was like taller than me. I had to hold it like this. So, I really enjoyed doing that. So I can see how people could get hooked on doing this. All right. Do you know what geocaching is?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I have a friend of mine who is very, very into that. It's not treasure hunting per se. It's just you got to find a geocache is usually a little capsule that's got a piece of paper in it.
That you can sign your name to
Right,
or
you
check
just
off
add,
on.
You just add to it, right? And
Yeah.
there's lists of where they are. I mean, we were traveling with friends in South Dakota, and they went geocaching, under Devil's Tower,
Yeah.
and they found one. You just go and you stick it in a crevice someplace. There was one in.
They're throughout the park system here in St. Johns County, too.
Oh yeah, they're around the world.
There's
for
one.
sure.
There's one actually. I believe there's a geocache, or at least there used to be, at the tree at the end of our street.
Okay.
Because I've seen people doing that wander around and
Picking through the bushes and brush.
picking through it. Yeah. So there's one at the end of our street that used to be there, but I'm not so much a geocache. I think I would enjoy, like, as I got older, the metal detector
detecting
things. So
Yeah, the geocaching is interesting, but now let's talk treasure hunting in a whole nother thing. There's been 2 or 3 people who have hidden, and it's legit because when they get found, they brag about it or it becomes very public. But, I forget who it was, whether it was, the guy's name was Forrest, maybe, who wrote a poem or wrote a book and said, if you follow these clues and if you find my treasure, you'll be rich behind your wildest dreams. And it was somewhere in Colorado, I think, is where he did, where he buried it. And, and these people just start tearing up the country looking for this. Because there's 2 or 3 of them that have been percolating, that they write a book or they write a poem and they put it out there and then they bury a treasure. I mean, one of them had diamonds and precious stones and old coins. It was a whole mishmash collection of extremely valuable things when you add it all up. And he goes and buries it someplace. And then people go running around the country looking for this stuff.
yeah.
And it becomes, quite a fixation for a lot of these people.
All right. So the most famous of famous is a guy by the name of Mel Fisher.
Sure. Down
All
in
right.
Key West.
All right. So he found a Spanish galleon, the Nuestra Senora de Atocha, in 1985. An estimated $450 million cache recovered, known as the Atocha Motherlode, included 40 tons of gold and silver and some 100,000 Spanish silver pieces of 8, gold coins, Colombian emeralds, gold and silver artifacts, and 1,000 silver bars.
Wow.
450 in one pop.
Man, I'm just thinking the emeralds, the Colombian emeralds are beautiful.
But I was trying to figure out, like, how much he has to give to if he has to give something if it's in U.S. waters or what that is. But I didn't really find the criteria with that.
Well, maritime and salvage law is really very, very well defined, which is why a lot of people will go out and not announce anything because they're trying to get it out before they have to either give it to allegedly the rightful owner. Every now and again, Spain comes in and says, that's ours. Thank you very much. So there's a whole way of having to handle that sort of stuff. And it's pretty explicit of who has the rights to it. But you can also buy the rights to certain areas and certain shipwrecks.
By the bottoms almost.
Huh. So it's interesting. But Mel Fisher did well for himself, yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad day.
Yep. But people do the same type of thing. I mean, it's less valuable stuff, but more historically significant things. People are constantly metal detecting at Gettysburg. Civil War battle sites are very, very big for collectors with metal detectors. They'll find buckles and buttons and bullets, balls, musket balls, and things of that nature. So it's kind of interesting there as well. But you need a good shovel and a compass.
Yeah, no, I can see myself being a late in life because it'll make me get out and walk.
You got the hat. Should we go look for the lost Dutchman mine?
We can do that.
Okay.
I'm not running from any big rocks, and carrying a whip. I'll carry a pistol. But
Start the plane. Start the plane.
What? All right. What was your other topic you had? I thought you had one more.
5 questions.
Oh, you got 5 questions. All right. I want to get to this one. The 50 largest companies.
Right. State by state.
By state. The smallest one was in Wyoming. Largest company in Wyoming was only worth $10 million. $10.93 million. I don't even understand how that's possible.
Yeah. I mean, there's mineral rights in Wyoming, I'm pretty sure.
In Florida, our largest company was FP&L. It's an energy company. And So the top 10, Oregon, Nike. All right. Number one, and it's going to take me a little bit to get this. It was Next Era Energy was what Florida's was,
FPL,
and it was
yeah.
worth $158.14 billion.
But that's a subsidiary of. Or is that the main parent company of FPL though?
Next Era Energy is the main company.
Okay.
Okay.
FPL is a subsidiary.
Yep. Philip Morris is Connecticut.
Really?
Thermo Fisher Scientific is Massachusetts. AbbVie is Illinois. Bank of America is North Carolina.
Oh, really?
All right. Georgia is Home Depot. All right. Now we're into the top 10. Johnson & Johnson is in New Jersey.
Yep.
All right. Procter & Gamble is Ohio. They're worth about, according to this, $394.97 billion.
That's a couple dollars.
Yeah, it's a couple of pennies together.
I find it interesting that Philip Morris is in Connecticut and not in the Carolinas.
Yeah.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Doesn't make sense to me either. I would have had them in North Carolina.
Yeah.
All right. Minnesota for Barbara Jean, a United Health Group, Inc. They're a health company. Basically, they...
Not 3M, huh?
Yeah. Not 3M.
And Target's on its way
They're
down.
founded in 1974. Estimated 400,000 employees. United Health Group, Inc.
That's United Healthcare.
Yeah. All right. Walmart is Arkansas. All right. Tesla is Texas.
Okay. Blade of California.
J.P. Morgan Chase is New York.
Thank you. Great library.
Eli Lilly is Indiana.
Interesting.
They're number 4. Number 3, Berkshire Hathaway is Nebraska.
Right.
Apple is California.
Cupertino.
All right. And they're at 2.96 trillion. And the number one
Today.
in the state of Washington at 3.18 trillion is
Microsoft?
Microsoft.
Okay, so now, though my feeble brain, the question went in and out. What about Delaware and Maryland? I got to figure DuPont would probably be Maryland, and I'm intrigued about Delaware because that's
Well, they weren't in the top 20.
right. Okay.
So let me find my way back. And what do you think Delaware would have been?
I think DuPont's in Maryland, but Delaware it's tough because everybody incorporates in Delaware. So
Yeah. Yeah, most LLCs are, because they're easy to get LLCs out of Delaware. So let's see. Let's get back to the list here. All right. Okay, here we go. And we're looking for Delaware and what are the...
and Maryland.
All right, here we go. Scrolling down. Mississippi, Vermont.
That's Mississippi.
What's Mississippi?
Yeah, did you scroll past Mississippi? That's interesting.
Mississippi is Candace Bank.
Okay, so it's
Candace Bank.
small bank, I guess. Okay.
Now, is this based on the revenue numbers that they generate for last year, or
It is the value per like their stock.
Yeah, it's,
And some of it has value. There are some private companies like the Koch brothers are in there. All right. Look in Delaware, DuPont.
okay.
Its value is $33.4 billion. So you nailed that one. Give you an A on that one, a C. And then the other one was Maryland.
Maryland, but I thought that could have been DuPont. But
Maryland's Lockheed Martin.
oh,
That
makes
one
sense.
that one makes total sense.
Yeah.
So
So-
and that one's 112.16 billion.
What about Maine?
Maine was back in the other direction.
I wonder if that's going to be a.
What was your question, Blake? While I'm looking,
company.
I'm definitely surprised that Nvidia is number one in California now, because of how much growth they have.
but is its home
Is-
base
is it
in
in
California?
California?
Yes.
I don't know how old this is because that that totally makes sense what you just said. Maine. All right, I thought I had it, but I didn't.
I don't think it's going to be blueberries, but it could be timber.
Yeah.
Or I'm intrigued to know because I'd be impressed if it's LL Bean, but I don't think so.
Maine is IDEX Laboratories, so it's a veterinary diagnostics laboratories. So they do software and water microbiology testing.
Yep, actually, there was a bunch of them on Mount Desert Island, as a matter of fact.
So, all right, Bobby asked for Utah. It's the church. So, let's see if I can find Utah. I don't remember seeing them.
They're not publicly traded. They're publicly supported, but I don't know if they're publicly traded, the LDS.
And the way this site is, it's got so many pop-ups hitting me. I'm sorry. I'm struggling to get through it.
What would be in Utah?
Yeah, I just was shocked by how low the company was worth in Wyoming. That, to me, was absolutely shocking. I mean, the company I work for is worth more than that. All right, Zion's Bank Corporation National Association is Utah with 6 point. It's ranked 38th, 6.1 billion, and they do financial services and operate network of banks in Western United States. Zion's provides a wide range of banking products and services. So it's a bank out west. So, all right. And Pilgrim's Pride Corporation is the number one in which state?
Well, you would think Pilgrims would be somewhere in the Northeast, but it's a food producer.
Yes, it's the largest chicken producer in the world.
Yeah, so I'm going Indiana.
It is in Colorado.
Interesting. Okay.
Pilgrim's Pride. When I think of Colorado, I think of Pilgrims.
That's exactly right. It's those funny hats that they used to wear. By the way, that would be in eastern Colorado, I have a feeling.
Yeah. So, all right. It is time for 5 questions.
All right.
All right. No yes or no questions. We have 28 minutes. We have time.
Fine. We can delve into these.
To fill in the gap.
Well, we'll start.
And I want our listening audience to participate.
Okay.
Question
number
1.
Okay. Well, we got something funky happening for the next 19 days, starting on Friday.
All right.
Little thing called the Winter Olympics.
Yes.
Okay. What's your favorite Winter Olympic sport? Lake? Troy?
Like, you can go first.
I'll probably go with skeleton because I'll definitely say like the fast ice tracks are really great, but there's something very scary about going headfirst down the slope on going like 150 kilometers.
So toboggan is feet first.
No, luges.
Luges feet first. Skeletons head first.
What's the skull or whatever?
That might be the thing, but it's skeletons.
Is that what they call it? The skeleton.
For Olympics purposes, yes.
Okay. So, all right. I like the bobsled.
Go Jamaica.
But I can tell you, I just watched the Miracle on Ice documentary that was done by Netflix, which I felt was better than even the movie Miracle, which I thought was done well.
Right.
And it kind of made you tear up because if you were around the right age, you were a little ahead of me. I was probably 12 years old at the time, 13 years old. It was a really big emotional thing for me at that time. The Miracle on Ice. So hockey probably still has it, but at that same Olympics, I fell in love with speed skating with Eric Heiden.
Oh, I was thinking the Netherlands.
No, Eric Heiden, the gold. He won 5 Olympic medals in that Olympics. I remember I was in 7th grade. It was the same year Mount St. Helen erupted. Just shortly after the Winter Olympics in Lake Placid, Mount St. Helen erupted is what I believe. So I think because of that, I like the speed skating.
Okay. Boy, when they wipe out hard too. When they miss that quarter. And did you ever look at the skates?
Oh yeah.
They're like 18 inches of Killia blades.
What was it? Dan Jansen? Is that what his
Yep,
name was?
yep.
He took a really nasty spill. Wide World of Sports used to do the
Agony of defeat.
agony of defeat, the jumping, and I liked that until I actually saw it, the jump itself, and I thought it was like 4,000 feet high. It's only about 10 to 12 feet off the ground. So and the whole time they're only about 20 feet off the ground at any time. In my mind as a kid watching Wide World of Sports, I thought they were just flying like 100 feet in the air and coming down. Now they travel 100 feet.
They go far.
Sometimes 300 feet.
They get their nose right over the end of their skis.
But when I saw it live, I was like, oh, okay, no, that's not as great. So I'm staying with speed skating being mine, and it has everything to do with Eric Heiden.
Well, I was going to take skeleton before somebody snaked me on that because we talked about it earlier. So I'm going to go with luge.
Luge.
That's right. Laying on your back, feet first, going down that thing at 80 miles an hour with a helmet, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's ballsy.
So
figure skating can be fun. I'm still not quite sure what the difference between generic figure skating and ice dancing is. It's kind of, I guess, well, it's because you're in pairs there, but you got pairs figure skating and you have ice dancing. I'm not quite sure what the distinction is, but it is what it is.
Okay.
It's interesting. Yeah. Well, we're going to be getting.
I was a fan of Blaze of Glory.
Okay. And I do feel, you've got all the Alpine stuff is really kind of fascinating. And it's so weather driven too, because if it's too warm there, then it gets a little mushy. If it's too cold, it gets too icy. It's got to be like Goldilocks. It's got to be just right. But I do feel for Lindsey Vonn. This woman has, gone partially bionic. She's got replacement parts in her knees. She has worked so hard to get back to this Olympic and heal her body, and just the courage to go back and do that after exploding herself a couple of times. And she takes a terrible fall a couple days ago, and I don't know. I haven't read if she's going to be able to compete, and I just really hope that she is. And
the thing I heard is, and they haven't reported yet, that they felt like she took a tougher injury and still competed before.
But she wasn't 41.
Yeah, but also you become more grizzled as you get older.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you this: I can play through more pain, because we're more used to pain now.
Right. Yes. It's called getting out of bed.
I think I can play through more pain now than I could when I was 35.
Yeah.
So I mean,
no, she is one tough individual. And then you got Michaela Schifrin, who is going to be right up there with everything as well. So we got a pretty good thing. I don't know any of the men's skiers anymore.
Yeah.
Who did Claudine Lange shoot? There was I think he was an American skier. He might have been a French skier. But Claudine Lange was a singer and an actress, and I think she took a couple of shots at her boyfriend, the skier, and it did not go well. It wasn't Jean-Claude Killy. In the olden days, you talk about Spider Savage and Jean-Claude Killy and a bunch of Bodie, American skiers, international skiers. I couldn't tell you a male skier now until next week, and then I'll be able to talk to you about a lot of them.
Yeah. So, and unfortunately for Lindsey Vonn, what comes up is because she dated Tiger.
Yeah, briefly, yeah.
And they had some pictures that got released. So that one keeps popping into my head.
Okay.
Of those pictures from Lindsey Vonn. So, all right. Next question. Question number 2.
That would be, in retrospect of the chilly winter we just had, or the chilly weekend we just had, what's your go-to warming concept? Soup, hot chocolate, a hot toddy? On a really cold day, what's your preference? Cup of tea?
Fluffy socks and a big blanket.
Okay.
Because if I go in the kitchen, I got to abandon my my blanket to prepare that.
Okay.
And I live in a house that's 100 years old. So there's certain parts of our house that's colder than other parts of our house, even though we have central heat and air. So I am pretty much remote, fluffy socks, puffy socks, till your feet sweat, and a blanket.
No beverage.
No beverage.
No heat.
I'm not.
No heating from the
I'm-
inside out.
I'm not a warm beverage guy.
Okay.
So I used to like warm tea, hot tea, when I was growing up when my grandmother made it.
Sure.
But she's been gone for 35 years, so I don't think I've had a cup of tea, hot tea, since the passing of my grandmother. So,
Okay.
so
By the way, Claudine Lange killed Spider Savage.
okay.
Was her boyfriend at the time, and she done shot him and killed him. Pretty interesting. It was weird. That was back in, I don't know, 1980.
Yeah.
Maybe it was earlier than that, but
I don't remember that.
1976. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, 1976. You were a whippersnapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. My answer is probably the same as my dad. Just I'm not really like a huge beverage person, hot beverage guy. So, but I'll say though, definitely a hot shower before going underneath the covers. But make sure you dry off first.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Soup was an option, boys. Could have had hot soup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's again,
We did have
you have
hot
to
cocoa
take
last
off.
night.
You have to take the blanket off of you to prepare the soup. So, if someone else is
I was gonna
preparing,
say, you got people in the house for you.
yeah, the kitchen's pretty much my domain. So,
But Julie and I had some very delightful hot chocolate last night.
yeah, I could drink some hot chocolate.
Yeah, see, Barbara Jean's got it going on. Hot buttered rum. That's the way
There
to
you
do
go.
it. Calories and your warmth. All right. Coming back to the cold weather.
Okay, Bobby answered the question. Ice dancing is less acrobatic.
Okay.
They don't do jumps or throws. They stay in contact more than figure skaters. So,
Wonder what Russian tea is. Is that like hot vodka?
yeah,
Could be.
yeah.
All right. We're going to stay in the cold theme for a couple of questions here.
All right.
Have you ever been snow skiing?
Yes,
Blake?
No.
Okay.
I
Do you want to, Blake?
No.
Smart boy.
I skied first time, and this was when I was fairly athletic. The first time I skied was here on the East Coast in North Carolina.
Oh.
Then I skied in a small thing with Blake's mom, and in Ohio one other time, but it's nothing like skiing out west. Like Steamboat Springs is phenomenal. The runs are completely different. Like I said, I was athletic enough where I could go to the Black Diamonds almost immediately. But it was very tiring. I've never snowboarded.
That's snowboarding spooks me because you're bound to the board.
Yeah. Well, and because I have wakeboarded, they say it's very similar, and I have surfed. So I would be interested to see how I would do with that, even though I'm a terrible skateboarder. So,
Well, it's interesting in the fact that at Cornell you had to take 4 semesters of gym to graduate. So when you get there, they strip all the men down, throw them in the pool. If you could swim from one end of the pool to the other end of the pool, you didn't have to take swimming.
okay,
If they had to pull you out by your hair, you had to take swimming before you could do anything else.
gotcha.
So I took squash, fencing, ice skating, which was a big mistake up in Ithaca because I was working on trying to skate backwards, and I'm getting whipped around because everybody up there's a hockey skater.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was not good. And then I took snow skiing. So we went to Greek Peak. It's like probably skiing in Mount Dora.
Gotcha.
It was not a very high
Down.
hill.
Down.
Not a very high
Down.
hill. But,
Did it
you
have?
know,
Did it actually have a lift, or did it have one of those ropes that you put your ass on and just
tow
kind of
rope?
tow rope?
No, there was a little lift, but it wasn't a big ski slope peak. Actually, it turned out that a fraternity brother of mine's father owned the mountain, so that was interesting as well. But I did it with my girlfriend at the time, so it was a nice way to get off campus, and it was fun. So I did that. You know, it was like 8 sessions. Great, fine. And I'm a very good water skier, but they tell you that snow skiing is
It's
completely
opposite.
different. Well, you know me, I pay no attention to instruction, so I would
Don't lean back.
I would see. Well, that's true. But I would snow ski the way I would water ski, and I had great control doing that. You know, I'm not a big fan of snow plowing.
Yeah.
So I could turn, I could use my body weight, I could use the edge of the skis and stuff.
Yeah.
Next time I was on skis, and the last time I was on skis was in 1984, 4 years after I graduated college. A bunch of friends of mine and we all went out to Alta and Snowbird out in Salt Lake City, out in Utah. So we went from, these little pimple-like hills in upstate New York to 10,000-foot mountains. And I think it might have been the Wasatch Mountains is where it is, I think, outside of Salt Lake City. And, first of all, you get off the chairlift at the top of the mountain, and, so the lift and the run is behind you, and you're just standing, and out in front of you is just this grand vista of just mountains and crystal blue sky and fresh air and stuff. And it was stunning. And then you turn around and you ski.
Yeah.
I have come to the realization in doing that, I do not have a need for speed.
I gotcha.
I was very content at my own little pace, going downhill, doing that. And I have friends that are outstanding skiers. Mm-hmm. So, I'd be skiing around and, we'd be coming down the hill and then, then there's a catwalk that goes around. So you've got the slopes and then around the edge of it. And these guys would come flying from up here. They'd fly over the hill and land on the freaking catwalk that was 5 feet wide.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of that was a drop. They'd come, they do it, and they split and they stop. I'm looking at these guys like they're out of their freaking mind.
And then they go off the drop?
No, they would then just keep skiing down. No, they wouldn't do that. They'd just come down, but they would and land on this thing and stop dead there. It was so impressive and so frightening all at the same time.
Well, and Bobby was talking about the difference on the East Coast and West Coast, and I can tell you the difference for me was the ice. Like
East Coast is icy.
East Coast is very icy. Like in Boone, there was ice patches. You randomly hit ice patches, and it hurt when you hit those. When you hit the ground and you hit that.
Oh yeah. Also, you have less control on your skis too.
West Coast, if you're on a black diamond, it's steeper, and if you crash in the wrong area, you spend time looking for your ski in the snow.
Right.
And it can be very tiring because if you lose one ski and you got to go up the hill, you got to pop off your other ski. You got to go up the hill to find your other ski. And if
it's deep powder, it's not easy to work through.
That was the whole thing. That was the whole thing. It
was interesting because we're going up the ski lift, and I'm looking and oh, look at that little tree, until you realize, because when we were there, it was magnificent. It was like 65 degrees. Mm-hmm. In 2 days, my ears got sunburnt and peeled. Skiing in jeans and a T-shirt because it was so warm and so comfortable to do that. That the biggest problem you had was getting sunburned.
Yeah.
But then you're looking and you see, a pine tree coming up like that and going, oh, isn't that a cute little pine tree? Until you realize a tree's like,
it's 40 foot tall.
Right, exactly. And you're just looking at the top 2.5 feet of it out of the snow.
Yeah.
That was some deep ass snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. But yeah, I learned that I do not have a need for speed. I was very comfortable poking my way down the hill.
Yeah, I enjoyed out west. Like I said, here you couldn't do this. I enjoyed skiing in the trees and going between the trees, and it was scenic, and you get some bumps, and you can kind of do a little jumps and stuff like that, taking your time and enjoying it. You couldn't do that on the East Coast. I mean, you could get over in the trees, but if you stayed there too long, you're going to hit an ice patch, and you're going to be Sonny Bono. Too soon?
Not for me.
Okay. All right.
Maybe for Cher.
Yeah. But they'd already broke up by that point.
Yeah.
But I mean, West Coast to East Coast is completely different. So, all right. Question number 4.
Okay. We got another event coming up this weekend.
Okay.
Little game called the Super Bowl.
Oh, I heard about that.
Okay.
I won't be around.
No, you won't, which, alleviates you from actually answering this for this year. But in general, and Mr. Blevins the younger, would you rather go to the Super Bowl or watch it on TV?
Depends on who's playing.
Good point.
I'll say right now, Patriots Seahawks don't want to go.
Okay.
But if this game was in Jacksonville, I would go. Or if the Dolphins or the Steelers were playing, I would go St. Clara.
Yeah.
Okay. Troy?
I like his answer a lot.
Team related? Team dependent?
To be team related for sure. But it's also one of those, if it was free.
Yeah, well, I got something for that on Wednesday when we're doing Wager Wire. I got
If
something I'm gonna bring up.
if it was free,
Yeah.
then I go to the Super Bowl. Airfare, everything included, all
Gotta enter
inclusive.
more contests, Mr.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah. So I never enter contests.
So you don't win them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Except for the lottery, I don't win that either.
Right. I was going to say, I enter contests. I don't win them.
I don't win that either. So
I did win a car once in high school.
yeah, I think depends on where it's at, who's playing, and if I have to pay, and who's paying.
So my answer is sort of similar. If the Jaguars were playing, used to be if the Raiders were playing, I would go. But now if the Jaguars were playing, I would really consider it, especially if it's, look, we got a Super Bowl coming to Jacksonville, I would say in 2030 maybe, if they haven't calendared it out that far, if not 31, 32, because they're very big on giving new stadiums a Super Bowl. And they're going to open the new maybe Bank Field, whatever it's going to be called. In, what are we, we're in 26, 28. They're going to be construction next year. And then 28, I think, close. And then be open again in 29. So there's a potential for a Super Bowl here in 2030, 31 maybe. So that would be interesting to see. And if the Jags stay good, there's a chance they could be in it. But me, I would go to the venue and spend the week there doing all the events and all the foo-for-all and the NFL experience and things like that, and then go home and watch the game on TV or in a hotel room.
What if
or
you're in a
bar.
luxury box?
That would work because then you can see the game, you can eat, you got a TV, you got a bathroom. It makes it a whole lot easier.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Sporting event you haven't done yet that you want to do.
I think the Kentucky Derby.
Okay. That's on my top 5 list.
Yeah, I would say the Kentucky Derby.
That's on my top 5 list. I haven't done that either.
I've been to a World Series. I haven't been to a Super Bowl. I've been to an All-Star game.
I want to go to an
I've been
opening.
to a Pro Bowl.
I want to go to an opening ceremony of an Olympic Games. So it's preferably summer games.
You're going to be in the wrong place this weekend. You're going to be on the Amazon with your butt getting nibbled on by piranhas.
Yeah, but it's in Italy. So,
Italy's nice.
yeah.
Food's good.
Italy's nice. I wasn't as big a fan of the food as I thought I was going to
Really?
be.
Too much.
I don't like al dente.
Yeah, the pasta was al dente was like your biggest complaint.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The best place I
Really?
ate at was an amazing Indian restaurant directly across from my hotel. And it was a great Indian restaurant. But it was in Rome at an Indian restaurant. I did find a really amazing restaurant in Florence. But because I don't like al dente, and I like eating pizza with my hands and not a fork and knife, so those are ways that a country boy doesn't fit into Roma.
So I'm presuming that the pasta that you were eating was probably dry pasta and not fresh pasta, because it's tough to have fresh pasta be al dente. So I'm presuming they were using box pasta, which is not a bad quality.
I don't know the
Italian box
difference.
pasta.
I don't know the difference.
Next time we go to
My
the Saint,
palate's not good enough to know that difference.
next time we go to the Saint, have the cacio e pepe.
Okay.
Because they do homemade, their spaghetti is homemade, and it was a really nice noodle. It was toothsome, but it wasn't al dente.
Yeah.
And I think there's a difference in that, certainly to me.
Yeah.
So that was that. Yeah. Okay. But the food nearly, when I was in Florence, I went back to a restaurant twice because I had tortellini in gorgonzola sauce. It was so good. I went back the next night and had the
Had it
exact same
again?
dish
Had it again?
Yep. It was fabulous.
So, all right. Question number 5.
Favorite Super Bowl commercial? Tough one.
I can tell you this one. This one's actually not that tough for me, and it sounds absolutely insane. But when the H2 first came out, the Hummer first came out. I don't know if you remember it. It premiered in a Super Bowl commercial, driving through the snow and driving, and I said to people in there, I'm going to own one of those.
Okay.
And about 3 years later, I bought my first one, then which was an H3. I bought the little one, and then I bought the H2. So a year later. So, and I kept that vehicle for 13 years. And I can tell you this, people can say what they want, but I absolutely loved my Hummer. So,
yeah.
Blake, it was a nice car, wasn't it?
It really was nice, but
What color?
It was kind of a silver blue.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So, and it had the truck feature in the back. It was a SUT.
SUT.
Yes.
So what? It had an open bed.
Had a small space in the back. It didn't have the third row seat. It only had the 2 row seats, and then it had like a small trunk that you can close with a sliding closer on it. It was
under the roof, or was that like
no?
It
was out in the open.
Like
it was out in the open. Yep. So, but like I said, I owned it for 13 years. Used to get flicked off by people, driving Prius, and I just wanted to go. My car is better for the environment than yours because they have those batteries that just aren't. They talk about that being clean, but the batteries are the dirtiest part of a vehicle
and the heaviest.
Yeah, but what about you? Your commercial?
I'm a sucker for that little Dalmatian that wants to be a Clydesdale, but he doesn't, and he hangs out and he chases the horses and he nips at their ankles, and by the end of it, he's running the show, and I well up at that one.
Yeah, I love it.
Just hear it. Every now and again, the Budweiser commercials are enough to encourage me to try a Bud, which I do not like at all. I do not drink.
Yeah.
But I get suckered in once every 5 or 6 years by one of their commercials and say, "Oh, the Bud," and 2 sips later, I say, "Good."
That's the reason why I don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
When Budweiser was one of our commercials of our radio show, I would break down and have an ultra. I'm not a beer drinker at all.
That's Michelob. Okay, same brand.
Yeah, so it was an Anheuser-Busch product, but I could never do Budweiser. Blake, what about you? Super Bowl commercials?
I know this was definitely before my time, but I will say Apple's 1984 commercial is still iconic.
There you go.
Okay. I do not remember exactly what that one was.
Oh, that was
shall prevail.
Oh yeah, the whole entire auditorium of gray, blinking less people that were there that were like 1984 type of thing. And they were all, they were all cowed. They were all in uniform. They were all subjected to, being subjects. And then somebody comes running down the middle of the aisle of this thing with a giant mallet swinging around. It was a woman, I believe, as well.
Yes, it was.
And she just whips it around, and she goes running, and, she flings it, and the screen cracks open, and that's how you get your Apple product.
Oh wow!
Oh, that was one of the most monumental. There you go. That was one of the most monumental commercials ever. Absolutely.
Don't remember it.
No, really. Well,
I didn't watch a whole lot of TV in the 80s, to tell you the truth.
Did they have the Super Bowl on Channel 4 that year, and you only had 3?
Yeah, it might have been on the extra channel. So
that's sad.
But I don't, and commercials weren't as big then. I felt like they got bigger in like the 90s to me.
Well, that was kind
of the start of it.
Yeah, that was the border of
that was the genesis of
commercials, and then commercials as social construct, and that one certainly was. Now CBS tonight is doing a the best Super Bowl commercials of all time type of thing for an hour at 8:00. So I'm going to tape that because I don't need the foo-for-all of Nate Burleson and whoever he's talking to editorializing. I just want to watch the commercials.
Gotcha.
Which is
for him.
Yeah. So because for the most part when we're watching TV, we're not really a huge fan of commercials, but all of a sudden when the second Sunday of February rolls around, we're just waiting to watch the commercials.
Mm-hmm. And the problem with a lot of things in America today, and this in particular, is you've got these great commercials. They spend millions and millions of dollars, A, to pay to air them, and B, to produce the commercials and make them. And half of them, you know, they show you before it's like, spoiler alert, because they show you the commercial before the show starts.
Yeah.
Well,
and the
problem I have is, like, I want to watch the game. Mm-hmm. And people get more into the commercials when you do a Super Bowl party.
Blame me for that.
And it's, one of those situations. I don't know if you remember about 5 years ago, Blake. You remember when we were watching on the porch and our neighbor came over and started talking during the Super Bowl?
No.
And I just, I tried to be as nice as I could without saying shut the hell up.
Right.
And finally, I think I had to say shut the hell up to him. So
yeah, I
think I ended up having to kick him off the porch because he wouldn't shut up.
Yeah.
So. All right, guys, that's the end of our show. What you got?
Robert Jean agrees with the Budweiser commercial, and Bobby is big on the hammer throw that we were just talking about. So
yeah, I don't remember the hammer throw. I am definitely I'll walt up on a good Budweiser commercial for sure. So normally they go for $2. That was a great commercial, by the way, with the Clydesdale when they kick the extra point. Kick the extra point. He goes, no, normally they go for $2. So, all right, guys. Well, we appreciate it. We will see you guys tomorrow on Bollock 6th evening. Go out there and support our sponsors. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.